we are going to mix it up with you and Hannah and Jess and Cynthia and me about Meghan Markle. She spoke at a New York Times event that argued that tabloids should come with a warning, just like cigarettes, because they are not good for anyone's mental health. Debbie, I'm going to go to you on this one, not just because you're British, but I'm just curious about what you think. I know tabloids seem to be much more of a thing in Britain, it seems, than they are here anymore. Does she have something here?
Oh, don't get me going. My kids were like, please don't talk about Meghan. Okay, so this is the very sticky wicket. The tabloids, just so you all know, are ruthless in England, so are the newspapers. But I think this is a diversion because I don't know how many people know. I'm sure the whole world knows, but there's a big court case going on. And yesterday it was found that she lied. And she was part of that book she wrote, Finding Freedom. And, you know, somebody, of course, has always come forward. So somebody's come forward with all the emails and the texts of her basically dictating the book, which we all knew, you know. So I think this is a diversion. So, yes, I do think it's toxic. I think she is toxic. Not just because I'm...
Okay,
No,
wait.
I'm
We
British.
can't let that go. Whoa, Debbie, stop. Reverse. What do you mean by she's toxic?
Oh, I think, you know, everybody talks about positive and negative energy. Look, I'm sorry, I don't know if this is a generational thing or it's a British thing or whatever. If somebody out there has every single person they're in touch with, they hurt. And she has hurt people that mean a lot to British people and the Commonwealth. She has hurt the Queen. She has hurt her family. She's hurt her own family. I'm sorry, if that's not the meaning of toxic, I don't know what is, you know, and I don't have really anything nice to say.
I was going to say...
I really don't.
No, I get what you're saying here, but I do want to ask a question. And this is not just for you because you're British and, you know, you obviously don't speak for Britain. But, you know, when she says that this is bad for mental health, is it bad for just her mental health because she happens to be the topic of a lot of, let's say, mudslinging that's happening still over there? Because I don't feel like it's the same here. I mean, I don't think she's gotten an easy ride, but it's not the same.
They don't talk about her over there. That's the thing. It's all come up in the last couple of days, but the press have actually gone backwards because people are just tired of her. You know, they're pushing Kate to a degree, you know, because of the good that she does. And they're just tired of her. She's boring. So this has all come forward because, of course, at the next drop of good gossip, everybody's like, oh, my God, I knew she wrote that book. I knew she dictated this. So, you know, take it with what it is. But I think, okay, if you're going to go into this business, it's a cruel business, whether you're a little old me and a decorator or you're married to royalty. But she told us she was going to go off and knit and she didn't want any publicity and she wanted to be quiet, but she's still there. You know, she's still out there doing her thing day in, day out. So you know what? There will always be press. And some press is good, some press is bad. But you have to kind of go, you really think that's what this is about? No, what this is about is she's in trouble. She had to say to the judge, oh, I'm awfully sorry. I apologize. I forgot. What, you forgot you wrote a book? You forgot you told them these are the facts? Come on.
Hannah?
Well, I'm glad that Debbie knows all of these details because I take a much more macro approach to it all. When I'm thinking about it, I don't actually know all the details on what's happening with Meghan, but I agree that tabloids are bad for mental health, mainly because they were the precursor to online trolling. That's my opinion. And we all know the really detrimental mental health effects of online trolling. And I feel like I was on TV talking about celebrities at Much Music when British-style tabloids became a thing in North America. I really felt the change and the presence of them. Us Weekly launched during that time in the early 2000s. And I feel like maybe in North America, it kind of started off as being funny, like kind of, you know, snarky, maybe towing the line. It became mean so fast. It is so mean. So I have to be honest. And part of the whole celebrity culture thing was a big reason why I pulled back from that particular line of work, because I'm just like anybody else. I don't mind consuming a little bit of celebrity gossip. I will read the cover of the magazines while I'm in the supermarket aisle or, you know, checking out. But I didn't want to be participating so hardcore in the delivery of a lot of
Like a
mean,
takedown almost, like it's
personal,
takedown.
exactly. That's what it can really become. And I guess I do feel for her, but what are we going to do? The gate, the horse is out of the gate or whatever. Like, what is the warning going to be on a tabloid? Don't be mean. Like, what is it going to be?
Yeah.
I love what you said about tabloids sort of being a precursor to sort of the hate and the toxicity, if you will, of social media. And just to defend Meghan a bit, like, she has stepped back. Like, didn't they step back from all of their social media channels? And there was that big report that came out earlier this month about the hate online, which was massive, was targeted. It was manipulated. It was a campaign, and it was only something like 90 accounts, but it had a reach of 80%. Yeah, it had a reach of 80% of the terribleness, and over 17 million prospective reaches that just that had. And so I'm more interested in sort of having a warning label on Twitter. But then again, I've often wondered, what would that look like? Like, hey, warning, Twitter isn't real, but it feels very real if you're on the receiving end of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we've all been on the receiving end of it, and you can tell yourself in one breath, well, none of this is real. A lot of these are bots. I don't know these people. Why should I care what they're saying about me? But on the other hand, it's deeply, deeply painful and does take a toll on your mental health.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For something that's it doesn't exist in the tangible world.
No, I think you're right. And it does seem a little bit way back, playback to be like, oh, tabloids, let's slap a warning on it. And to your point, Jess, it's like, what would it say?
Yeah.
Exactly. And then leaving out social media, which we know is so harmful. I just remember back in the day when it was like, I don't know about you, I would really only pick up a tabloid magazine when I was in the nail salon or maybe at an airport. And there was a kind of embarrassment to do with it. Like, I didn't want anyone
fold it in
to
half and then tuck it under your arm.
I'd take the Vanity Fair or the newspaper and put it in front of the tabloid.
The Economist? That's what I would do.
Yeah, there's no humility anymore. You are not embarrassed. And I feel like therein lies something that's shifted in at least on this side of the pond, that we now we don't recognize that there's a kind of embarrassment we should all collectively feel. Again, I'm not saying I'm devoid of it, but to be supremely interested in the shortcomings of celebrities' lives or the details of their, it is a little embarrassing. It should be a little bit embarrassing. I mean, I know that goes away from the toxic angle, but shouldn't we be a bit embarrassed?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess because it's so ubiquitous. I agree that there's no warning that you could put anywhere now. That's like saying to a smoker 20 years in, did you know that we should put a label that says smoking is bad for you? Oh, you've been smoking for 20 years and you're addicted. Like, I mean, really? Like,
thanks.
Is anyone actually thinking that this is real? So I will say
and
this.
For better or worse.
Yeah.
For better or worse, when you said ubiquitous, Mel, I totally agree. And our interest in this sort of salacious stuff goes back thousands of years. Like, we are interested in it, you know?
That is period. Like, period.
Mm-hmm.
We would go and stand at the guillotine while they chop somebody's head in France. We love disaster. Why do you think when you're on the highway and there's a car broken down, everybody slows down? Because when it happens, can I say that? But when awful things happen, it makes our lives a little less, dull or a little less, so my life's not too bad. You remember there was a famous cushion that many people had, and it said, if you've got nothing nice to say, come and sit by me. We love gossip, but it's like everything. It's like junk food. There's a fine line. What we need to do is educate. We educate our children, because you're right, it is getting more awful because of social media. It is cruel, and I wouldn't want to be a 15-year-old today. So we need to teach our children, this is rubbish. If you don't like it, don't go on. Turn it off. And you're right, the old supermarket tabloids, they were more in America and Canada about a space alien or something like that. They were rather,
Elvis is alive.
I slept with a man from Mars and had a hamster. They were kind of funny, and we knew it was rubbish and everything. And you're right, you're ready to the thing. But this is cruel. And yes, it's cruel to her. But you made your bed, kiddo, and you need to suck this up. And I do think this is a diversion, because tomorrow's the last day of the case and it is exploding in the UK. So, because she lied again. And So it's two different topics in a way.
Yeah, it is.
I don't.
Yeah.
You can't put a thing on and say, don't be nasty, because that will have to go into every school classroom in the world.
Yeah.
But we need to educate ourselves and say, you know, if this is getting me down, if this is turn it off.
Yeah,
Just
listen to
don't
yourself as well.
read it.
For sure.